Hello you, welcome to Geekism, and welcome to a little bit of a different video today. We're going to be talking about Planet Zoo. I even then had to stop myself saying Planet Coaster. We're going to talk about Planet Zoo 2, in fact, and a survey that Frontier have put out asking for feedback on possible inclusions for options in the sequel that's coming out next year. I have quite a bit to say about this, to be honest with you. Let's be honest, first and foremost, I'm a Planet Coaster player. I adore Planet Coaster. It's definitely my number one game. But I had a real great time in Planet Zoo as well. You know, a lot of the really fantastic features from the Planet games moved over, and it was really great to build stuff that the animals interacted with. It didn't quite have the long tail that Planet Coaster did for me personally, but I've still got well over sort of 600-700 hours in it. It was big on the channel, and for a good time it was my main game for about a year or two. It's pretty much all I played. So whilst I'm not still out there making stuff for the game now, I am a big fan of it and very much looking forward to the sequel. So I wanted to kind of bring attention to this because they've mentioned it on their own socials and what have you, but I think a lot of people don't look at that sort of stuff. There's a link in the description of this video to this survey that you can go and fill out, and it's asking you to basically rank from most important to you to least important to you a number of features that could come in the sequel. Could being the key word there, really. I think this is interesting for a lot of reasons. First of all, I think it's a great idea. I think this kind of level of transparency is exactly what I'm looking for from a developer, and I think this level of back and forth with a games community is very important. Frontier have struggled over the last few years by trying to expand at quite a fast rate. They did this indie sort of publishing arm that didn't go particularly well. Some of their other IP-based stuff hasn't done particularly well, so they're looking at sort of refocusing on this content management system game style, and I think these games work really well when they are sort of developed a little bit more collaboratively with their community. The content management system community, which is maybe not a term you've heard much before, but it's very much what this channel is focused on. Management games, tycoon games, city builders, that kind of thing. We are an aware niche. We understand that the games that we play are smaller in scope as far as sort of, you know, the distance they're going to travel and how well they're going to sell. So we're always quite grateful for when some of these games sort of look to us and look at how to develop with us in mind. So I think it's a great idea to focus back into community and ask some of these questions from us. I do think it's interesting time-wise. Planet Zoo, I'm going to be saying that a lot for a while. Planet Zoo 2 has most likely been in development for a few years now, looking at some of the informations on the earnings calls and what have you, and will be coming out 2026. Most of Frontier's game launches are around the sort of October-November window, so we're about a year away from the launch at this point, which is probably the last sort of 25% of the development time. It's probably had about 2 or 3 years already. So it is interesting at this point being asked these sort of questions. It is interesting to wonder how many of these features aren't currently in the game but can be added over the next year. I think what we're perhaps seeing here is a little bit of a sort of righting of the good ship Frontier after Planet Coaster 2's difficult launch, for a lot of reasons. But one of the things I think often goes under the radar with the discussion of the Planet Coaster 2's launch is water parks. For the most part, they were actually implemented pretty well, and the few things that they needed to add to them, they got out the door very quickly. And they are actually a pretty good implementation of a water park system in a theme park game. It was the big thing for the game. It was their big, the slogan was "Make a Splash." All of the video footage showed water parks and theme parks alongside each other. It really was the selling point for the most part of Planet Coaster 2. And mostly, I think, because of how much feedback initially it got. A lot of people were saying that water parks were the big feature that was missing from Planet Coaster. A lot of people went back and referenced things like Roller Coaster Tycoon. Soaked, was it called, I think, was the expansion that added it to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, as it being this key feature that was really needed. And then the game came out, and everyone kind of built a water park for a few weeks, and then went, oh, well, that was fun, and then have never touched it since. That's all sort of data I assume that they have, and you can tell from the DLCs, having across 2 DLCs now a single ride, single feature for water parks being the wave sim in the toy box pack. So I do wonder whether or not this is an attempt from Frontier to go to the community about a game and say, well, come on then, put your money where your mouth is. Actually tell us what's important to you in a sequel from a game like this. Because interestingly, a lot of the things in the form that you'll see in a moment, I'm actually going to take you through the form myself. I thought that would be interesting to get my thoughts on it. A lot of things in the form kind of make obvious sense to me, extra features, like mechanical features like petting zoos, the additions of birds and aviaries, the additions of aquatic animals and aquariums. To me, all seem very simple, but, simple in that, like, it's an obvious choice. But then there's a lot of things in there that, for me, I'm not interested at all. There's, like, a zookeeper mode, a first-person mode where you walk around with a jet wash, like one of these sort of jet wash simulators or what have you, where you put the food down yourself in the animal bowl and you can press X to pat wolf or what have you. I had no interest in that at all, in the slightest. And, it's the sort of thing where not only am I not interested in it, if it was in the game, I wouldn't use it. I'm so uninterested that I don't want them to spend development time on it. I would rather them do something else. The reason I point this out, though, is because I bet there's a huge sort of quieter majority of the game who would love that feature and would think that was amazing fun to be able to go around and interact with all the animals. So I think it's important for data like this to really get it out to as many people as possible and really collate it into a usable data set, because they can come to me and ask me what I think, and they can come to other Planet Zoo players, but there's a good chance that if you're still playing Planet Zoo right now, especially if you're still making content on Planet Zoo right now, you are more focused on the building aspect of the game, because that's where the longevity is, let's be honest, the sort of creating the spaces for the animals to be in. But at launch of the game, when you're actually just generating revenue and you're recouping your costs, maybe the bigger features the more important features are a simplified building system, the ability for people to go around and pat the chickens or what have you, which is probably more realistic than patting the wolves, I suppose. So I do think this data is important. So even if you disagree with me and click and watch me click these options now and be like, oh my god, what an idiot, that's not what we need, that's not what we need, I implore you, please go and fill this out yourself, because the more data they can get, the stronger sequel they will make. So yeah, interesting stuff. Love to see it. I feel like there's a good chance a lot of these features that we're being asked for are already in the game or being worked on, and maybe all they're really looking for is information on how to promote the game, what features are most important to people to sort of get it out there in front of people. I feel that if the game has been in development for 3 years and we're in the sort of last year of it now, it would be quite wild for them to add in some of these features now, because they feel very sort of like core features, fundamentally, foundationally built into the game. So it may well be that it's that they're looking more for feedback on how to advertise this game as opposed to features they're putting in. But I'm absolutely spitballing here. Anyway, I'm going to take you through me filling it out. You can agree or disagree, but I thought that would be an interesting process. Okay, here we go. It takes 9 minutes, and I think it's worth pointing out, they mention it here, that anything listed in here has been found from community requests. Doesn't mean that they're happening. If you see anything here, it doesn't mean it's confirmed for the game. All right, let's get started. It's anonymous. Please confirm that you have read and understood. Privacy policy, I can recite it. Please confirm you are aged 13 or over. Unfortunately, yes, I am. Okay, how old am I? I'm 39 years old. Oops, why does my 3 not work? Oh, 39. I'm a man boy, and my country of residence is Canada. We may have to skip if you ask me anything more specific. Okay, which Frontier games have you played for more than 2 hours? Planet Coaster 1, just about. World's Evolution 1, 3, Planet Zoo. I have actually played Elite Dangerous for about 10 hours, and obviously Planet Coaster 2. Alright. Didn't play Evolution 2, that was away from YouTube and games at the time. And I've never played any of the Warhammer stuff. Which of those is my favourite? I think it's probably going to have to be Planet Coaster 1. When was the last time you played Planet Zoo? Oh, probably a while ago, between a month and a year ago. It might even be between 1 and 2 years, honestly, at this point. Okay. Next page will present you with a list of popular community requests for Planet Zoo 2, organised into 16 sets. Rate each in items you set for instructions. Tasks may be repetitive. Features will appear more than once. Well, that's good. Okay. Proceed the community request by clicking on the next button. Next session is the most important part. Okay. So we most important and the least important to you personally in each set. Okay, so we're in the heats here. We're going to rank these. Okay. Availability of simplified building tools, ability to observe and research animals in the natural environment, more unique scenery options and decorations to choose from, availability of staff vehicles. Okay. So the most important there for me is the decoration, and then, simplified building tools, I actually find the building tools to be fine. Natural environment, that could be neat, like going out and finding them as opposed to just sort of reading them from a menu. Vehicles, I find the vehicles in Jurassic World Evolution are just like mayhem. They just barge around and smash into guests. So let's go. Well, that's most important. So least important, sorry. I think least important is the building tools. I'm fine with how they are. Okay, next set. I see. Ability to perform simple zookeeper task in first-person view. New pathing system. Expanding Planet Coaster 2 calls, inclusion of aquatic animals and aquariums, improvements to example. Oh, that's a tough one because new pathing is huge, but fish. I want to build an aquarium so bad. I have no interest in a first-person view game. Guest entertainment in zoos, e.g. petting zoos, engaging animal photography mode, ability to observe in natural environments, and improvements to exhibits. I think more guest entertainment is huge. This is definitely something I want from Planet Coaster as well. Stuff that aren't the main attractions, the midway, the little interactive things. That's really, really important to me. And then photography mode, I can take away the UI and you can do some great stuff. I don't think a photography mode is important. More in-depth management gameplay, more unique scenery, more dynamic terrain tools, e.g. waterfalls. So the waterfalls are in Jurassic World Evolution are pretty impressive, and a smaller scale version in Planet Zoo would be pretty good. I think I probably will go for that just because, we'll get plenty of scenery, I have no interest in the first person at all. I know, and that's something I mentioned in the first part of this video, so I won't go over it again. Inclusion of birds and aviaries, new pathing system, unique, improved animal behavior. It's got to be birds and aviaries. And then, I kind of want all of those. That's a tough one because birds, pathing, more scenery, better animal behavior. They're all really good options. Really, I am a builder first and foremost. So the pathing and scenery is more important to me than the animals themselves. But that's the real tough pick there for me personally. Birds and aviaries photograph, Planet Zoo base game animals available on launch, inclusion of aquatic. Oh, that's really tough. I think I want fish over birds, and I don't care about photography mode. Okay. Aquatics and staff vehicles least. There you go. Improvements to exhibits would be good. I think I don't hate how they're done now, but more options for sizing and maybe have the animals actually moving around them would be nice. And I don't care about the campaign mode. Pathing system 100%. At least the building tools, I guess. Most important for me here is terrain tools. Least is challenge in campaign. Most important here is I genuinely think petting zoo over birds personally, only because birds, all you can really do is put them in a big cage, so like if I have to pick a little petting zoo, little goats pottering about, that'd be amazing. Least important there is management for me personally. Again, I'm a very creative player. I just want the place to look nice. Guest entertainment I will take because I'd be amazed if the pathing system isn't already improved. Least there is vehicles. Scenery there. All base game animals. I don't need all of them personally. There just needs to be enough, least important there is management. This is a birds there. It's probably the most important for me, and then the least important is simplified building tools. Let's have a look here. Guest entertainment is definitely the strongest there, I think, and I really am not interested in zookeeper tasks. Senior objects, decorations, security, animal exhibits. I think exhibits over terrain there, and the least important is the campaign. Okay, boom. How many Planet Zoo DLC packs do you own? I have absolutely no idea. I don't think it's all 20. I've probably missed the last 4 or 5, so let's say 10 to 15. When did you first pick up Planet Zoo? I pre-ordered the game. I mean, I had it early access beta. How important are the following aspects when playing Planet Zoo? So, campaign objectives, very unimportant. Campaign narratives, very unimportant. Observing animals, yes, important. Animal variety is important. Building zoos is the most important. Management's not so much. Sharing designs, I don't know. Famously, don't never put stuff on the workshop. Community challenges, no, I don't care at all. What are the most important factors? Contributing to a decision to pre-order Planet Zoo. Oh, this is tricky for me personally because I didn't pre-order it. I was giving it as a content creator, but beta access was important for me. So I think that's the only real true answer I can make there. Have you played any of the following games for more than 2 hours? Zoo Tycoon 2, no. Sea Tycoon, no. Prehistoric Kingdom, yes. Zoo Tycoon. Oh, wait. 2004, yes, I have. That one, that's the Xbox one. I haven't played that. Stardew Valley, yes. People Museum, very much so. Let's Build a Zoo. Probably didn't quite get 2 hours into it. RimWorld, no, never really took me. Zoo Tycoon, yes. The Sims, most definitely. Factorio, no. Skylines, the original one I did, yes. Okay. Which gaming platforms do I own? PC. That's the end of that question. How often do you play Planet Zoo on a PC or laptop using a gamepad? I've never really. I mean, occasionally I would use it to move a camera around, but that's about it. How often do you play other games using a gamepad? Very rarely. Occasionally there'll be something that really recommends it, but for the most part, no. I'm a keyboard and mouse guy. Thanks for taking part in our survey. You're welcome. So there you go. If you haven't already, please go and fill in this form. It is open until the 15th of December, so at time of recording, you've got about 4 days still to do it. If you already have done it, let me know in the comments. Were you surprised by some of the features they were talking about? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think it's useless? I really want to know, because I think this is good, but I really want to get a good idea of what the community thinks. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next one, be good.